Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2013 AFC Wildcard Playoff Preview presented by Fair Market Fantasy between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Chiefs. This week versus the Indianapolis Colts, the Kansas City Chiefs on offense can have some success moving the football in the passing game with the stick route. This is a simple concept that you can run all the way down the football field. I'm going to show you how they can attack cover 3 with the stick concept. What we're going to do, we're going to run games with the tight end as well as the tailback. So we're going to run the stick route with the tight end. We're going to shoot the tailback out in the flat, and we're attacking cover 3, which means you have 3 guys deep, and your safety is the flat defender. And what Alex Smith has to do, he's reading the flat defender, the strong safety. So we're going to run the clear out route with the guy on the outside. Tight end is running the stick route. We're shooting the tailback out in the flat, hopefully trying to pull this strong safety to the flat so we can get the football to the tight end right away, who's going to step up, boom, and hit right there. That's the stick route. You're taking advantage of the linebacker that's going to get in this drop and dropping the football right in front of him. This is a 5-yard play that could turn into a big play. It also could be utilized in the red zone, but it's all about reading the strong safety. And if he buzzes out quickly to try to cover this flat, this play is going to be open throughout the course of the ball game. So again, they can utilize it on 3rd down, 2nd down, even in the red zone, and they can have some success. So that's one way the Kansas City Chiefs can have some success moving the football in the passing game with the short passing game against the Indianapolis Colts this week in the playoff game. This week versus the Kansas City Chiefs, the Indianapolis Colts will have to be able to stop the running game with Jamal Charles in the backfield. I'm going to show you how they can go to a unique front to try to get that done. It's called a 50 tight, where you have both guards covered, you have the center covered as well. So you have your tackle, your nose, and your 5 technique over the interior offensive lineman, with your outside backers playing the outside shoulder, let's say of the tight end or the offensive tackle. And the reason why this defense is effective versus the inside running game, so that's going to be short yardage, teams that pull guards, and it also helps you out because the alley is squeezed. So now they have to keep it inside, which means you're playing great contain. It's all about gap control when you're trying to stop the run. So again, short yardage versus teams that run pulling guards, and also versus teams that want to run the counter. Because keep in mind, now you have the inside backers playing the outside shoulder of the tackle, keeping everything boxed in. If they allow Jamal Charles to get outside, or break contain, it could be a big play, maybe even a touchdown. So if they go 50 tight in certain running situations, maybe short yardage, maybe goal line, maybe 3rd and 4, I think they could have some success in getting off the field and getting the ball back to Andrew Luck in that offense. Defensively for Kansas City, when you're facing a mobile quarterback like Andrew Luck, you have to be able to play contained defense, but you also want to be able to get pressure and force a quick throw. I'm going to show you how they can get strong side pressure and be in better position to stop the run, and also keeping contained while also keeping 2 guys back deep in the cover 2 look. So we're going to play cover 2. We're going to man on the corners, but it's a zone blitz. I'm going to show you what we're talking about here. Like I said, cover 2. So you have safeties responsible for their deep halves of the field, and we're manned up on the outside. Cornerbacks responsible for those 2 wide receivers. And we know they don't run double back sets. This is just for instructional purposes for the defense to show you where people's assignments are going to be. Now up front, we're getting outside pressure from the outside linebacker. Boom, he's the contained blitzer on the strong side. And we're going to show you how creative we're going to get on the strong side. We're going to have the defensive tackle, the 5 technique, get a punch and drop back into a zone responsibility. We're going to have the inside linebacker, strong side, show blitz, drop back into zone responsibility. Now we're going to have the nose tackle cross face of the center, boom, shoot the A gap. Weak side inside linebackers crossing face of the guard, shooting that B gap. So you see we're getting 1, 2, 3 guys going strong side, getting pressure, trying to get him to go here weak side. But what we're going to do on the weak side, we have the defensive tackle pushing through that offensive tackle here, and we're sending the outside linebacker on a contained blitz. So he's blitzing, but if this guy leaks out, he peels off his blitz and follows him. That's his responsibility. But if this guy stays in and blocks, he's getting pressure as well. Like I said before, 2 guys dropping back, strong side coverage right here, so to protect yourself versus a quick pass, manned on the outside, 2 safeties back deep, 3 guys going strong side. And I think that's one way Kansas City can have success defensively, getting pressure on Andrew Luck and try to bottling up that running game, and also be in great position to disrupt the timing in the passing game. Versus the Kansas City Chiefs, the Indianapolis Colts will see a lot of man coverage. And I'm going to show you one unique blitz beat that they can utilize by getting the backs involved in the passing game. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. You're trying to influence this cornerback to fly his butt across the field. And what we're going to do, we're going to send this guy on the crosser, trying to influence him to keep going this way. We're sending guys up and up. to try to keep the safety deep, try to keep those guys out to play as well. We're working on this strong safety, seeing where his eyes are, because what we're doing, we're sending the back up through the line off a play fake. Andrew Luck is setting up right outside of the guard, and we're sending the back right across the field. So now what you're having either the tailback run across, run away from backs, or you have a strong safety that's going to be stuck in the mud trying to figure out whether or not he should take the crosser, whether or not he should help on this post, or whether or not he should get out here and cover this back. So either way, the back has the advantage because he's running away from man coverage, and right here is where the rub is going to happen. You see where these guys can get crossed. So I think this is one unique play they can utilize to beat the blitz or beat man coverage. So keep an eye on how they utilize the backs in the passing game this week versus Kansas City, because it could ultimately lead to big plays in the passing game for Indianapolis.
Now here are some coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For Kansas City, they have to move the chains this time around. The last meeting, they struggled on third downs, and everything they want to do on offense builds off the play action pass. It builds off these guys having rhythm, and if you're not on the field, you're not having rhythm. And they have to win on the interior defensively. That's Dontarie Poe and company winning on the inside. Again, that interior pressure versus Andrew Luck, and they have to play assignment football defensively. You can't get out of position. You can't get over aggressive because you're going to lose contain. Andrew Luck is going to break that contain and make big plays down the field, not only running the football, but also in the passing game. So you have to play assignment football, do your job, and you can have some success. And for Indianapolis in this ball game, they have to play with great tempo. I think that's how they can have some success versus that over-aggressive defense of Kansas City playing with that up-tempo style, and they can move the football. And you want to force Alex Smith to hurry up his decision-making. This is a guy that wants to take his time, play with a controlled pace. If you force him into a quick decision, it could lead to an incomplete pass, or better yet, a turnover. You have to continue to spread the field. That's how you weaken that 3-4 defense. That's how you widen out their responsibilities, and Andrew Luck can take advantage of those individual matchups in the passing game. The X factor for Kansas City will be their offensive aggressiveness. How aggressive will Andy Reid be in this matchup the second time around? Will he try to attack vertically even more so than he did in the first matchup? Will he try to go with more of the running game, try to lean on that defensive line? That's going to be the biggest key, in my opinion, in how well the Chiefs do offensively. And the X factor in this ball game for Indianapolis will be how they utilize the running backs in the passing game. It worked to perfection in the first meeting. Donald Brown had a big day catching the football. I think that's where they have the advantage. Those backs in space versus the Kansas City Chiefs linebackers. They have to find ways to get these guys involved very early and often. Now here are some in-game adjustments you want to watch for in this ball game. For Kansas City, the first 15 plays on offense are going to be key. Normally teams script the first 15 plays, but this is the second time they face each other this season. So watching these first 15 plays will be key. That's going to be the adjustments they've made from the last time they played to now. That's why this is very important in this ball game. And what type of running game that's going to be utilized? Maybe the power game where they're moving those guards, so maybe they're inside zone, outside zone, or maybe they might go with a little bit more misdirection, trying to influence those defensive linemen to fly up the football field and hit them with the wham or trap plays to try to get Jamal Charles to the second level, so that way he can utilize his speed to take it the distance. And whether or not they go with more blitzes or stunts this time versus Andrew Luck, try to get pressure on him and keep him contained in the pocket. And for the Colts in this ball game, you want to look out for when Jamal Charles goes in motion, the guy that's going to go out there with him, whether it's a linebacker because that's an instant mismatch, or do they walk that safety down and go with more of a single high look? That's going to be key how they match up versus Charles once he goes into motion. And also keep an eye on the intermediate coverage adjustments. The first matchup, the Colts did an excellent job in frustrating Alex Smith in that passing game. What adjustments can be made the second time around? Because you know the Chiefs have made similar adjustments. If they can have the same type of success they had a couple of weeks ago, they're going to win this ball game. And you also want to watch out for their base personnel, whether or not they go with that spread set, try to widen out that defense, or will they keep it more condensed, try to get those natural rub routes and pick routes in the passing game and get better blocking angles in the running game to try to get to the outside. In the 1994 Wild Card playoffs, the Kansas City Chiefs took on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Joe Montana had a sensational day for Kansas City, throwing for 276 yards and a touchdown, which was to Tim Barnett on 4th and goal to send the game into overtime as the Chiefs went on to win 27-24. In the 2007 AFC Championship game, the Indianapolis Colts were able to exercise their playoff demons versus Tom Brady and the New England Patriots as Marlon Jackson picked them off in the fourth quarter to seal the victory as the Colts went on to win the Super Bowl that season over the Chicago Bears. I like Kansas City in this ballgame. I think this time around versus Indianapolis, they will protect the football and they will be able to move the football a lot better than they did in the first meeting. Defensively, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to be stout. This will be a very close game, but I do believe Kansas City is a better football team overall than Indianapolis, so I see them going on the road and knocking off the Colts. And also want to give a huge shout out to Chief fan forums and Colt fan forums for always showing football game plan support. And just because the regular season has ended doesn't mean you have to stop playing fantasy football. Thanks to our friends at Fair Market Fantasy for their 2014 NFL playoff promotion. You can visit the website at fairmarketfantasy.com to sign up.